We don't have your background.
A very good evening to our viewers at home. Welcome to our episode of Insurance Group. I hope we are all doing well. Apologies for the late start. We had some technical difficulties on our side. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to, I think this is our 8th Insurance Group. I hope everyone is looking forward to finding out more about car insurance, as we'll be hosting today one of our operational managers from United General Insurance, who'll be telling us more about car insurance. As usual, I'm not alone. I am with Mr. Wiedenberg. Mr. Berg, can you please say hi to our viewers at home?
Hey, hi to everyone who is following us on Facebook today. And if you are following us after the fact, thank you very much for doing so. We may be watching from YouTube. You are more than welcome. Please do follow us all the time. Simpiwe, it's great to be back here. You said episode number 8. Is it not 7? But I'm losing. I don't think I'm going to keep counting anymore, because I think we are just chugging along.
It's definitely episode number 8, Mr. Ferry. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while, and we are really grateful to our viewers at home for joining us. Let me not waste much time and let you give you the opportunity to introduce our guest today.
Thank you very much, Simpiwe. Today's discussion is very interesting. Today we are talking about car insurance. It's amazing how many vehicles we have in the country and how many of those vehicles are actually insured. People don't seem to be aware of the beauty of having insurance. And today we'll be speaking specifically to that. Why should you be insured? And how can United General Insurance help you with your car insurance, specifically car insurance? Before I introduce our guest today, Sylvia, I have to note or to speak about this particular interesting thing that happened today. I noticed on the Facebook a young man by the name of Bonke Shabana. He was driving a car and wants to insure it. The thing is, the car was made out of wire, but we'll find out whether he can indeed cover it from Mr. Kamete. So in the house,
you know, today, those are the best cars in the back days, Mr. Per. When you had that car, you were, you know, you're top notch. I remember some of my brothers used to make those, and you know, there used to be a competition who made the best. And I'm hoping Mr. Kamete is definitely insuring those ones.
Well, there's no young man who didn't go through that phase, but it was quite interesting. So today's guest is not new to our show. His name is Mr. Patrick Amada. He's the operations manager of United General Insurance. Hi, Patrick. Welcome back.
Hi, Mr. Berry. Hi, Simpiwe. Pleasure having you again here.
It's always a pleasure having you, Mr. Kamete. So today we'll be talking primarily car insurance. Last time, I think we were talking on the legal side of things, which means your organization does cover quite a myriad of different kinds of policies or insurance. But before you go into that, for the sake of those, I know most of our guests or most of our followers know by now who United General Insurance is, but for the sake of those who are joining us for the first time, could you just very briefly go into who is United General Insurance?
Thank you, Mr. Berry and Simpiwe once again. And we so appreciate hosting us here because basically this is a very good platform where we are able to interact with the insuring public. United General Insurance was actually established in 2016, and we started our actual operations in 2017. We are a short-term based insurance company, which means that we are insurers of short-term insurance assets. So that will be your car, any immovable and movable property. That's basically who we are. We are a parent company sitting under the United Holdings Group. That's basically who we are, Mr. Berry.
A subsidiary of United Holdings Limited and focusing on short-term insurance. But in the land in Eswatini, Mr. Gamede, you probably are not, and I doubt very much you are, the only insurance company or short-term insurance company. Why should people choose United General Insurance after outside those other companies?
That's a good one. I think as a new, I'll say new because obviously you've got the other players that have long been in the market before us. So obviously, when we wanted to enter the market, we did an extensive market research, and one of the key areas that we're focusing on, the first one being service excellence and efficiencies. We pride ourselves that our turnaround time in terms of running a quotation, preparing a quote, providing cover, confirming cover on all those issues, we are very much efficient. Secondly is the kind of benefits that go with our policies. I can't delve into that, but the various policies that we do provide, we've got certain special indicators within those policies that were basically not available in the market. Thirdly, it is because we are a unique company. We are a 100% Swazi-owned company, and we are fully based in Swaziland, in Eswatini, and all our shareholders, stakeholders, our shareholders are basically 100% Swazi. So that's on its own, Mr. Barrett tells you that you are better off insuring with a Swazi-based company and also a 100% Swazi. It's interesting that the Minister for Commerce is actually promulgating an act which is going to be promoting, supporting local businesses, which will be going through Parliament shortly. So for us as United General, we're saying we're taking pride in that, and we're already in the market. We are practicing in the market. So the Swazis must surely be insuring with us.
United General is 100% Eswatini-owned company, unlike most of our competitors who are owned outside the country. So definitely, in addition to that, we also provide the best insurance or short-term insurance service. A vehicle or a car is one of the most valued assets anybody can ever own, I suppose, after a house. So definitely there is need to make sure that it is also insured because of the risk that it attracts being on the road all the time. But there is also this discussion about whether one should choose a comprehensive cover or third-party cover. Can you explain those two terms to us so that people know the difference?
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Basically, for us to insure a car, you have what you call comprehensive cover. Comprehensive cover means that all or any damage that one could actually be exposed to will be fully covered. That means the insured car itself and also a third party, which is the other part, which is the other party's asset. It could be a car on the road. It could be that my car rears off the road and hits a wall fence belonging to a third party. Whatever it is, that would be a third party damage. But a third party cover only, that one will mean your insured car itself is not insured. We will only compensate the third party. So if my car rears off the road and rolls over and it hits another car or a wall fence belonging to Whedon, we will only pay the third-party damages, which is will pay the replacement fees for the wall or the other party's car, but your own car will not be covered in the instance. This is basically your minimum cover that one would do. You will realize that when you go to the other countries, being a foreigner, you are always normally compelled, especially in Mozambique, you would be compelled that you show proof that you are comprehensively insured in your country of origination. And Mozambique itself is covered as an extended, I'll say, boundary. So that is very important, because if you don't have money to insure or to provide or to compensate the person's car who has been involved, whose car has been involved in your reckless driving, whatsoever, you will then have to compensate him from your own pocket. So this is why the other countries do not allow you to drive without that third-party insurance cover.
That is interesting, Mr. Gamete. So if I get third-party insurance, I'm saying I don't want to be covered. I'll cover myself, but let the insurance company cover me for the other party that I might have caused an accident with. But do you offer both types of insurance at United General? Mr. Gameze, did I lose you? I might be losing Mr. Gameze. Maybe we have a network challenge. Mr. Gameze.
Might be a network challenge, so.
Okay, Mr. Berry, you can come in.
Oh, you can hear me. Great. I was asking, do
Yes.
we cover both comprehensive as well as third-party insurance?
Yes, we do provide cover strictly for third party. If you feel that you've got an old car that you don't feel like insuring, or others you'll find that you've got a vintage car that doesn't, you normally don't drive around. So your chances of being involved in a collision whatsoever is very minimal. So basically, you can take a third party cover only for that particular cover, which means irregardless of what value the other party is, but for our own control as United General, we limit that exposure to a maximum of 2 million emalangeni, and that cover will cost you 750 emalangeni. That's a straight one, Mr. Berry.
Okay. Interesting, you have brought in the figures into play. I think some of our viewers would like to possibly relate to some figures. Let me give you a scenario, Mr. Gamete. There's something about Honda Fits that I love in Eswatini. I own my Honda Fits. The value, let's agree that the value is 100,000 Malangeni. How much would I insure that for? Or what would my premium be for that vehicle?
Okay, first of all, Mr. Berry, what we'd want to know is, are you a first-time insurer? Because, for us, as we take a certain risk, which is basically to provide you with a cover for a car, we need to know your age, because the risks that that we're exposed to are based, at times, they are affected by the age. A youngster who's just finished college, who's just bought his first car, a VW Golf 7, they'll be driving around until they run out of petrol. Unlike yourself, who will just.
Oh dear. It looks like we are having internet challenges.
Capacity for such cars to say how big is the engine, how fast is that car, a Pajero, a Mercedes, a BMW, whatsoever. Thirdly, it would also be, where are you normally parking this insured vehicle? Various places. Previously, when car theft was at its highest, you knew places like Mpuleni, Ngwane Park, Gakoza, you would get a very high premium rating because of where you actually stay. But even now, we still make a consideration on that. So there's various aspects which we call our underwriting guidelines that will then speak to the fact that how much rate are we going to charge. I'll give you just an open wallet to say, for that 100,000 cover, if you're staying around Manzini city center, let's say Coates Valley, If we charge you a rate at 7%, 7% of 100,000 Malangeni will be 7,000 Malangeni. That will be your annual premium. Obviously, our covers then you'd have what you call a voluntary excesses or compulsory excesses. We always try to discourage people from just scratching a car that is worth 100,000 Malangeni, and then it comes over to claim for insurance, and the claim is basically 7,900 Malangeni. So it is quite costly for us to handle a claim, irregardless of how much that claim costs, because there are certain processes that are costly to us. So to discourage, minimal claims to be taken through, we will always apply what you call compulsory excesses. So that's basically Mr. Berry.
So our viewers are therefore advised that do not just go to insurance companies that tend to thumbsuck their figures, because there is a process that has to be considered, which you said is the underwriting process, where one is evaluated their age, where they live, and so forth, so that there is a rate that can then be applied. I had another question to follow. I don't know how relevant it is. You said maybe my 100,000, 700,000 rand bits. Did I say feet?
Malangen.
100 Malangen Honda feet attract 7,000 annual premium.
But obviously, Mr. Perez, sorry to cut you short. Obviously, that 7,000, so that the viewers are still on the same line. That will be dependent, because we might be charged 7,000 Malangen, and Simpiwe, being a lady, being a good driver, being a pre-insured individual, we might charge 5% of 100,000. So these will always vary depending on our underwriting guideline. Thank you.
So it will differ from individual to individual, from circumstance to circumstance. So my next question was, do I have to pay the full annual amount all at once?
Yes, that's what we prefer. Otherwise, if you are a bit tight, then we have negotiations. But the first cutoff is a premium in advance. We agree with the quotation. For us to activate the cover, we need a premium. There is no cover before a premium. And you must understand, short-term policies, there is no waiting period. You might have insured the car today, and we sign off at 5:30 just after work. And at 12 midnight, you bump the car. You are covered because you already have your agreement with the insurer is already alive. So that's the reason.
Oh, you have touched exactly on my next question, which was, when does my policy come into effect after paying the premium? So unlike other types of insurance, in this case, short-term, you are covered the moment you have paid your premium. So the moment I pay my premium, I'm covered. Whatever happens thereafter, I can claim.
Yes, that's true. That's true, Mr. Bear.
All right. My next question is, how do I lodge a claim, and how long does the process take?
Thank you. I like that question because, for us as insurers, we are in the business of paying claims, contrary to what the public basically thinks. When we pay a claim, for us, it is saying now we are keeping the promise, because when we sell insurance, we are basically selling a promise. And for clients, the only time that they get to put us to test is when they have an accident and they have to submit a claim. Our claims handling efficiencies speak to why then they have to insure with us. So one aspect that you consider when you have an accident is basically we are only a telephone call away. We've got our hotline number, the 7802-6434. That line is always available 24/7. So you basically, if you are not through a broker, you are direct, you just phone that number and then we'll give you a guide through. Otherwise, as soon as you have had an accident, all the cars that are insured by United General, we've got specific towing companies that have to collect the car at the scene. So you have to phone a certain number. We always give our clients a certain sticker that speaks to the toll-free number and also the towing company. So once you phone the towing company or you phone us direct, which is the 7802-6434, we will then make an arrangement so that we get your car towed to our depot at United General. And from then on, you need to get a quotation for repairs. Sometimes you'll find that the quotation basically states that the car is uneconomical to repair, which means it's a write-off. We will normally write off a car between 70 and 80%, of total cost versus its insured value. So it means if your car is worth 100,000 and the damages are in excess of 70,000 to us, that means it is a write-off, because for us repairing that, it doesn't make sense. Thirdly is we need you to fill in a claim form, a motor car claim form. You fill in that, and then you have to attach a police report. Immediately after you've had an accident, you always have to call or to phone the police so that they can attend to you at the scene. If you're not in a position to contact the police, because maybe you are also injured in the process, the Good Samaritan, there's always people out there who come out to assist, whatever. Immediately you are in a conscious state, you have to then report the matter to the police, to the nearest police station. They will then take the necessary measures to record a statement and do all that, and then you will make an application to have a police report. So once you've got a police report, you will then submit that. The police will normally give you a police clearance so that you can then take the car in for repairs or quotations. That's basically the process. There's other documents like your ID confirmation, your driver's license, and all that. We will then, upon getting the quotation and the police report, we will then instruct our loss adjusters, which is a loss adjuster or an assessor. These are our technical experts who are then qualified in quantifying the extent of damage so that they can be in agreement to say, yes, that 100,000 worth of a car, the damage is worth 35,000 or 50,000. They are actually culminating from the accident.
That is a mouthful, Mr. Gamedze. But what I have picked out from there, just to reiterate, is that United General Insurance is in the business of paying claims. That is where the soul of the business is. So in the case that you are covered and you need to claim, that is what United General does best: process your claims and make sure that you enjoy the benefit of what you have been paying for. You then spoke about the different requirements, and one of those is that police clearance. There is a tendency that when we get involved in an accident, there is a gentleman's agreement. No, listen, I will then pay you this or that. If you are covered, you don't need all that. You just need to insist on getting a police clearance or a police report, and you get your clearance report, and then United General will cover you. So thank you very much for explaining that, Mr. Gamedze. The next question is, what happens if I default on my premium? I've been paying, and then I default, and then 2 days later, I get into an accident.
Thank you, Mr. Bebe. Short-term insurance is an annual cover. So this is an annual contract, unless you have specifically applied for a monthly contract, which means you just, at certain times, someone will say, hey, I'm just working on this project and I'm not sure when I'm going to finish. So can you give me cover for 30 days? I will see if I'm still needing or using the car. I will then extend and get another. So that will be a strictly monthly cover. However, the annual covers that we have, we charge you an annual premium, and then because maybe you are a bit stretched for cash, we will then agree on a monthly payment. So it means if one particular month you are not in position to pay, obviously there must have been a communication with ourselves. But when you have an accident, we will call upon you all to settle that premium for that particular month that you have defaulted. And at times, even if we had agreed that you will be paying monthly and you have an accident, especially when it's a write-off, we will then call upon you to actually pay the balance of the premium, which is the annual premium in full, before we settle the premium. And then we'll make an agreement on that. But the crux of the matter is that we will need you to settle any premium arrears before we proceed with the claim.
Wow. Because it's an annual payment, I must be paid up annual before I can claim. I think it's pretty clear. But what happens, I think the default that I also was talking about is, Mr. Gamete, January disease. You have insured from January to December. Come next January, before you make payment on the 2nd of January, you get into an accident. Is there any consideration?
January has always been there, Mr. Berry. It's not the first time you're going to a January. You always laugh when people start talking about January. January is just like February. It's like any other month. It depends. Companies, you have your annual financial year starting from June to May. Some it's 1st of July to 31st of June. So, you must get used to these things. However, from what you're saying, I know where you're coming from with this question. We're saying we always send you a renewal reminder, at least 3 months before the policy expires, which means, in September, we will send out end of September, we'll send out all policies that are falling due for renewal effective 1st of January the following year. So that itself says you then have to be alive to the fact that January is coming and the premium is due. So you can make little bits of payments to have an accumulation so that by the 31st of December, your full premium has already been accumulated to the annual premium. Or you engage us to say, hey, I will not have enough premium. Can I make maybe three equal installments, whatever the arrangement, so that by the end or at the expiry of the term, your premium has already been paid or a payment arrangement has been agreed upon. That's the important aspect. We will not turn down a claim if you were engaging on a positive note, and we are all alive to the fact that you are going to settle that premium.
No, thank you very much for clarifying that, Mr. Gamete. Related to the payment of premiums, one of the questions that has come through from our viewers is, suppose I should die, I have paid my premium for the year, and then 3 months in, 4 months in, the policyholder dies. Is there a refund?
Like I said, Mr. Berry, we charge our premiums on an annual basis. So if it happens that, because then it will mean because the owner has passed away, it means that the policy has to cancel. So if you get that instruction, we'll then prorate the premium and the balance of the months that had not been utilized yet, because it means that you have a credit balance with us. So on a monthly basis, we take away from that fund, which is your personal fund, on a monthly basis, and you will be subtracting from that annual fund. So 3 months into 12 months, we will give you the balance of the 9 months.
I hope that clarifies that one. People seem to raise that question a lot. And then the next one is, do I get a cashback if I do not claim for a number of years?
We're always getting that one. We had a very interesting debate with one client sometime. I was just trying to enlighten what cashback means, and people are, now they are so much alive to cashbacks and all that. Currently, as United General, we do not provide any cashback. What we provide is a no claims bonus. A no claims bonus is basically saying, for you being a very good driver, a very good client, you haven't claimed for a period of 12 months, we will then reduce your premium in the following year by 7%. So for each and every 12 months that you have not lodged a claim with us and you have fully paid your premium, we will give you a discount of 7%. This means that, Mr. Berry, after 10 years, you'll have a premium discount of 70%. Look at that. So you must, we always trying to encourage clients that just because you are insured, don't go around bumping people. Don't go around accepting liability because you've scratched your brother's car. Now you are saying, no, don't worry, I'm insured. So put in a claim, I will then go to a United General and claim. We don't want that. So the good drivers, we compensate them through what we call the no-claim bonuses. When you talk of the cashback, you're actually translating the no claims bonus into cash, which we are currently not doing.
I had an interesting discussion on one of the shows whereby it was also explained that a lot of these cashback plans actually result in higher premiums, and you are lured by them, yet you are actually over the long term paying more than you are actually benefiting from the cashback plan.
True. This is why at times we always encourage clients to be very cognizant of the policy wording. You can't compare oranges to apples. So when you shop around, as insurers, we'll give you a quotation based on what you've given, on detail that you've given us. So if you do not disclose to us that you're already insured with a certain competitor and you are already enjoying a no claims bonus of 50%, you come to us, you ask for a quote as a new insurer. Obviously we are going to give you a quote at 6% plus, that will be straight. So obviously the premium will be on the high side because we haven't considered the no claims bonus. And then we're saying, yes, there might be certain hidden details, again, over and above the no-claim bonus. You might have what you call a voluntary excess, because if you want to have a premium decrease, you can decide that, no, listen, Mr. Kametsen, whenever an accident happens, I always have my own funds. I can always cater for costs up to 20,000 Amalangeni. So can I be self-insured for the first 20,000 Amalangeni? Over and above any access that will be applicable in the policy. So 20,000 Amalangeni will obviously give you a premium discount of plus minus 11,500 Amalangeni, or 65% discount from the premium that you would be paying at the time. So if you look at that, Mr. Berry, it will be such a low premium. But if you don't disclose that to another insurer, there's no way that you will have an appreciation of that. But when it comes to the actual accident, now, accidents, they don't wait for you to get paid. You'll have an accident on the 15th where you are totally down cash-wise. And now the insurer will say, no, give us, you remember, Mr. Berry, you took a 20,000 voluntary excess and your car is worth 200,000 Amalangeni. There is an additional 10% compulsory excess on your own damages. So that means it's another 20,000. So there's 40,000 Amalangeni that you have to pay upfront. That's when then you start fighting with the clients. So these hidden details, Mr. Berry, we always try to ensure that we do explain to our clients so that they have a full appreciation and we do not fight at claim stage. I think that's what we always interested in.
So the advice there, Mrs. Gameze, is that engage your insurer fully, ask all the right questions, get the right answers before you commit. But when you commit, follow up on your side of the deal, keep up your premiums, and the insurance company will definitely pay when you claim.
True that, and you have to maintain your car. Your car must always be in a roadworthy status. Because after an accident, we send our assessor, we find that the tires were smooth, below the minimum, that is a minimum requirement in terms of roadworthiness. The brakes were not in order because the car you can actually see the tarmac marks and the skidding marks. So the car skidded for about 100 meters. That tells you this was an accident that was exaggerated by lack of maintenance on the car. So we're saying, yes, the car is insured, but you must make sure that you have good maintenance and also ensure that it's always in a roadworthy status.
Beautiful, Mr. Gameze. Unfortunately, the questions are not relating, they keep coming. And I'm looking here at a question. I think this has been quite a topical question of late or within Eswatini, because there is a belief or some notion that imported cars are not covered generally by insurance. What is the position of United General?
We do cover imported cars fully. But what we need is, once we've done the code, we need to get what we call an assessment evaluation certificate. So we've got a prescribed assessors. Then you take your car there. They don't charge much. They are quite reasonable. You do a full assessment, and then they give us a certification, so that at claim stage we do not start arguing. You must have an appreciation that these gray cars are actually very tricky to work on. Most of the time, like you are talking about your nice car, the local, I mean, your Honda Fit. You find that the car itself, they're saying it's worth 60,000 in Malawi. One accident that you have, only the side part, which is the mirror and the driver's door, is damaged. You get a code for the replacement of those two, they're charging you 42,000 in Malawi. That's where then we start fighting, because it's saying, you know, the value of a car, where it comes from. If a Honda Fit has 3,800 parts, the total value of the car means each and every one of those parts added together, it gives you that value. So now if two parts are costing you 80% of the sum insured, what does it tell you, Mr. Derek? It's not the car that we've insured. So this is the problem with the gray cars, obviously. So this is why we're saying, let's get an evaluation so that we can quantify this, so that we don't fight at claim stage.
Thank you, Mr. Gameze. You give a very good example there. But the key to that is, let's get an evaluation, and we will cover you, provided we have agreed on the evaluation. So I see some more questions coming in. Simpiwe, you might want to share some questions on your side. But whilst Simpiwe is preparing, Mr. Gameze, can I insure my parents' car? My parents, maybe they are retired and I want to insure their car.
In insurance, there is always what we call the principle of the insurable interest. So what would be your interest in that particular car? You can pay on their behalf, let them be the policy holders. You can't be the policy holder and they be the owners. There's no insurable interest.
And that's a tough one to swallow, Mr. Gamete.
I can see that you have been shocked.
But what we are saying in layman terms is that you can go ahead and pay for your parents. The car still belongs to your parents. And as long as you are paying and your premium is up to date, they are covered.
Yes, that's what I mean. So you can't take over. You can pay on behalf of your parents, but the car must be insured under your parents' name because it's theirs. You've got no insurable interest.
All right. Hey, these insurance people, sometimes the complications. Simpiwe, please, any questions on your side?
Before I ask the questions, Mr. Pere, you know, this insurable interest thing is is not nice. You know, I bought the car for my parents, and I would definitely want to insure it, because should they probably bump it, I don't want to be the one probably that is losing. So it doesn't go down well. But anyways, it is what it is. We are a regulated entity. So we need to follow the law.
Is that the good thing is that I'm not saying it can't be insured. It can't be insured. It's just that who does the insurance?
Okay, meaning I can pay for the insurance, but it won't be under me. I won't be the policy holder.
Yes, it must be. It will be under your parents.
But as Maswati, I feel like it should be under me. Taking for instance some of the funeral insurance policies, someone will tell you that, no, I am paying, yes, but I want to be the policy holder and have my parents under me. You see, it's I think it's an issue probably that we still need to cover even to depth, that what does really insurable interest mean? Because I believe this is something new to Maswati. We've always had that stigma around the insurance, and we want to be the ones that are in control. If I'm not the one in control, then I feel like, no, it's not worth taking. So I think maybe from my co-host, I will ask that we cover probably a insurable interest in depth, or we cover insurance. Maybe moving on to our questions. We have Mr. Hamilton Koza, one of our faithful, if I may say, loyal viewers here on Insurance Group. He actually was one of the people that won from our competition, our weekly competition, and was interested in legal insurance. I'm hoping that he eventually did open the legal insurance. So Mr. Koza's question is, does the insurance cover overhauling the car engine? Or for an example, even when it was not necessarily breaking down or maybe involved in a car accident?
Thank you. This kind of insurance doesn't cover any mechanical damage. We're covering accidents. So if you try to start your car in the morning and it doesn't start, we can't phone us to go and tow your car. We're covering a car following accidental damage. That's simple as is, simple.
Okay. Is there a possibility, I'm just asking from my point of view, is there a possibility of having insurance of fixing our cars? When you have your engine messed up and it's not $50 to fix an engine. Is there a possibility maybe at some point in time for UGI or any insurer to provide insurance for fixing our cars or mechanical problems?
Interesting question. I don't think Mr.
That's a very tricky one, but currently we do not have.
Okay. We do not have. I would definitely go for that one, Mr. Kametse. Fixing your car or taking it for service.
It's quite interesting. I had another.
You had a?
Yes, because only when you buy a new car that they will give you the warranties. That will the warranty basically is an indirect insurance, because they're saying we guarantee you that we've done all that we could possibly do, and if anything happens, it means that there's some shoriness from our side. That's why we have these warranties and guarantees. Otherwise, outside that, I was saying I was just watching one of the outsurance adverts, and I was surprised that they are now tapping onto what you're asking about, which is issues with an engine. That's quite interesting. We'll have to see how much claims they'll be catering for, because that one is a total given that people will be claiming quite a lot. But currently, we do not provide such.
Let's hope you'll be the first ones in Swaziland, Mr. Gavitz. We are willing to actually pay that much money, to get our cars fixed. It's okay to have it covered for accidents, but some mechanical problems just get to be too expensive for you to afford from your pocket. The other question is, who pays for the evaluation? Who pays for the evaluation of the car? Since you mentioned that you need to get the car evaluated before we bring it to you for insurance.
The client is actually the one who's supposed to submit all relevant documents for us to activate cover. Hence, even the evaluation, he has to carry the costs currently. So we just give you reference for an assessor, and you'll have to pay that. Like I said, they're quite reasonable.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kametse. Well, it seems like Mr. Koza on Facebook is really understanding the point of having our parents' car covered, and as them being the policy holders, not us being the policy holders. I think, let me continue to search for questions, Mr. Pere. You may continue with Mr. Games, even though we do not have time. I think we might want to have our clients send in the questions and we'll answer them as from the video.
Definitely, Simpiwe, our followers should continue to ask those questions. We will create a frequently asked question on this topic and post them on our website as well. I've got so many questions; they keep coming, but let me ask one or two more before we round it off. Mr. Gamede, we only have 8 minutes left. Can I insure a foreign registered car in Swaziland, in Eswatini?
Yes, you can, Mr. Beren, as long as you disclose that at inception of the policy.
That it is a foreign registered. You don't even look at
because you have to declare the vehicle particulars.
Okay. I think that's straightforward. And another question, how affordable are your premiums? I guess this one, they want to try and weigh maybe against our competitors. How affordable do we consider our premiums to be?
I think that one we already discussed that, to say it all depends on who you are, what car is it, and how the frequency of your driving. If you are a relatively new client or you've been insured before, all those details will then speak to the rating that we're going to charge. But for their comfort, for a private use car, because that's what we're talking about, a private use car, it's a car that you'll be using between your place of employment and home, or for social purposes, not for business traveling, which means you'll be doing Josie on a day-to-day basis, conducting business. That then becomes a business use.
And then the other questions, what additional benefits do you offer on your products?
Oh, yes, I think we never touched on that one. Mr. Berry, we got quite a number of additional benefits that we normally that come with our policies. One issue is that you have the free towing. So following an accident, the car is towed at our cost to our depot or that repairer's garage. And we also have a health cover where UGI provides cover for clients' hospitalization through accidents, which will obviously enable us to a fast and quality recuperation process. We also have a funeral cover, a small amount of 5,000 Amalangeni. That's an additional benefit, just to ensure that they are able to do certain errands whilst preparing for a funeral following an accident. And we also have what you call an overnight accommodation. So if you have an accident, not in Swaziland, outside of Swaziland, and you obviously cannot then continue with your travel, you'll have to seek accommodation somewhere within that. So with that, we will give you an overnight accommodation worth up to 1,500 Malawian. If maybe you still want to proceed with your journey, we will pay you 1,000 Rand for an alternative transportation, so which is a car rental. We will give you 1,000 Rand so that you proceed with your. Those are our additional benefits, Mr. Barry.
Those are some benefits that I definitely would not miss for anything, Mr. Gamedze. Definitely, if you're not insured with United General, you need to reconsider. If you don't have this kind of benefit, consider changing from whoever you are insuring with to us. If you are not insured at all, you need to make sure that you get over this risk by insuring with United General Insurance. Like I said, Mr. Gamedze, there is a lot of questions, but these last few questions, Mr. Gamedze, just so that we touch on them, I would just like a yes/no answer. Let's call it a game, 10 questions within 1 minute. Here we go. The first one, do you cover imports? I think we've already touched that one.
Yes.
Do you cover old used vehicles?
Yes.
Do you give cash back after certain claim-free years?
No.
Can I cover a car not registered in my name pending ownership change?
Yes.
Can I cover the car I use if it's already covered by business?
No.
Can I claim if involved in an accident while drunk? Can I claim if involved in a car accident whilst I'm drunk? I think it's a network challenge or shame.
Yeah, it's probably a network challenge, Mr. Perry. But that's an interesting question.
I'm sure
that's quite an interesting question.
Yes or no. I hope we can get Mr. Gamedza back. Mr. Gamedza, are you back? Hello. We can see his picture, but
yeah, it's possibly it's a network challenge. It's a bit windy. I had the same challenges earlier on.
So unfortunately, it looks like we have lost him now. Just as we're winding off, I think the next few questions that I had, just to finish off, is: do we insure vehicles or buses or business vehicles, company vehicles or business vehicles? Do we cover third-party vehicles in case of accidents? Can I insure my business vehicles? Do you pay claim when I am at fault? Those are some of the questions that we would have had a yes/no answer from Mr. Gamedze. But Simpiwe, unfortunately, the networks have been jealous. We couldn't finish all those questions, but we had touched quite a bit on the other aspects, the most important aspects. And we invite our followers to call us on 800-1010, our call center, and ask some of these questions. They will be in a position to answer you or assist you if you want to sign up. You can also go to our website, www.united.co.sz, and you will find United General Insurance there, and there are forms that you can download or get more information from there. We are on many social media platforms. We are on Facebook. If you're watching us from Facebook, hello to you. We are on Instagram. We are on all these social media platforms. So do get in touch with us anyhow you want to, and we will make sure that we get back to you. It has been a pleasure being your host tonight. My name is Whedon. I'll send it back to Simpiwe. Simpiwe, it's over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. It was quite an interesting program. I think I would want to also appreciate Mr. Hamilton Koza on Facebook, who was definitely interacting on the page. He's been asking questions we've had a couple of people asking questions actually on Facebook. We will be answering them on the page since we didn't have enough time on the program. Otherwise, just to answer one of the questions, Mr. Perry, I know very well we do cover business vehicles. So if we have business people out there that want to cover their vehicles, definitely use our contact details. Some of them are just right here next to me. Yeah, here, yeah. They're right here next to me. I've always wanted to do that. They're right here next to me. You can call our call center on 800-1010. It's a toll-free number. You do not need airtime. You do not need to be putting coins on your call box. I wonder if we still use those, but it's a toll-free number, 800-1010. You can talk as long as you need and actually ask as many questions as you need answered. We have our WhatsApp number. You can text it and ask as many questions as you want. Otherwise, it's been a wonderful program. Look out for our questions from this week's episode so that you can take a chance at answering our questions, at winning our weekly competition. Mr. Gamedze is coming back. Maybe he may want to say his goodbyes before we leave. Otherwise, please do stay in touch. Do ask as many questions as you can. If you didn't get any much clarification about those benefits, you see those benefits that you get, especially when you are going outside of Swaziland, you have your accommodation paid for by UGI. But good. I think I'll be going out of town tomorrow, Mr. Per, and my car might break down. I am not sure. It might break down. And Mr. Kametse, hello. Hello, sir. Can you please say your final words, sir, before we close?
Thank you so much, Simpiwe. Thank you, Mr. Berry. Apologies, it's these technical glitches. I think it was issues of networks. Apologies about that. And dear viewers, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. We hope that we will be getting a number of contacts to ensure that we run you a quote. If you stick with us as United General, we assure you that you will get the best of service at all time. We have a fully qualified, fully fledged team that is waiting for your call at any time. Thank you once again.
Before you go, since I am the co-program director, may I ask, Mr. Kametse, there's a question that was posed while you had technical challenges. A client was asking that, do you cover a car, probably if I drive under the influence, do you cover my car if I get into an accident?
You shouldn't have taken that one. It's already time, simply. Obviously, those are some of the exclusions that we have in the policy, because every policy has certain exclusions. So if you are under the influence, we're definitely going to take you to task. Yes, we do make considerations, but the gist of the matter is that once the police report states that you have been charged for driving under influence, we will not pay for the damages. So our clients, if you've insured, you make sure that if you've taken one too many, you get a sober driver to drive you around.
Thank you, Mr. Kametse. I think it's important for viewers at home or for all our clients to note the exclusions whenever they are opening policies, because sometimes we get to a point where someone tells me, hey, I didn't know you don't cover this, you don't cover this, and they're trying to make and they're trying to swindle us, if I may say. But it's important that whenever you are opening a policy, you try to consider the exclusions that go with that policy that you are opening. At the same time, it's important for us to be responsible users of our insurance policies, because you are not just claiming from us. At the same time, there's a loss probably that is going to go on your side. So it's important to be responsible citizens of Eswatini and responsible insured people that are insured. So it's been a wonderful program. Thank you very much, Mr. Kametse. Thank you very much, Mr. Whedon. Since I am a responsible person, I will not be going to SA and get into an accident for that free accommodation. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Kametse. It's been a pleasure having you. I know we are going to have you once again. We have people that want to know about what you can do for businesses. I am an aspiring business person myself, so I need to know that. Where am I going to knock? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much to our viewers at home. Have a wonderful evening as well.
Thank you.